Okay, in 1.5 we're going to learn about inequalities. Does anyone know what an inequality is? Anybody?
Less than, greater than, equal.
Perfect. So if we have less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, these are all inequalities. So on the next page we have all 4 of our inequalities. Just like how you read from left to right, you start from the left and go to the right. So if the left side is open wide, that would be greater than. If the left side is closed, that's less than. So we would read it as greater than and less than. And then if it has the line on the bottom, it's greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So here's an example, super basic. We know that 2 is greater than 1. So we would read this as 2 is greater than 1. And we know that the open part is open to the bigger number. 1 is less than 2, so the open part is open to the bigger number here. So opens to bigger number, bigger or larger number. All right, so we are going to be solving inequalities and graphing them on a number line. So first we need to solve it. So if this was an equal sign, how would we solve this? Add 6. So even though it is a less than sign, we do the same exact thing. We add 6 to both sides. So our 6's are going to cancel out, and we have y is less than 3 plus 6 is 9. So y can be any number less than 9. So we're going to put this on our number line. So I'm just going to put some numbers on the number line so we can see. To graph this on a number line, we know that y can be anything less than 9, but it's not equal to 9. What's a number that's less than 9? 8. So we are going to start at 9 and go in the direction that is less than 9. So you can write it on top of the number line or like on the actual number line. So if you wanted to, you could just highlight. So we're talking about all the numbers in this direction. But the important part here is that 9 is not included. So we're not including 9. So 9 would not be less than 9. So we can't put 9. So we would have to put an open circle here. So that's why we put the open circle. So we would see on this little study tip here, a circle is used for less than or greater than, and a dot is used for less than and equal to or greater than equal to. So that's why we put the circle here, because we're not including that 9. Any questions here? All right, let's look at the next one. What should we do to solve this? Okay, what do we need to do to solve this?
Combine like terms.
Combine like terms. How do we combine like terms? What do we need to do?
Subtract.
Subtract what?
For the b.
We can subtract 4W to move it to the other side. So what's 5W minus 4W?
W.
Just W. So we have W plus 3 is greater than 9. So now we want our W all by itself. What do we need to do next to get our W all by itself?
Minus 3.
Perfect. We subtract 3. So we have W is greater than 6. So on our number line, I always just like to start with 0 in the middle. And then it just depends how high your number is for what numbers you want to put on your number line. So are we going to put a closed circle here or an open circle?
Open circle.
Open circle. So we put an open circle on 6. Are we going to go to the left or to the right?
Right.
Right. So we're talking about all the numbers greater than 6. So that would be 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to the right. So we would just highlight everything to the right. Any questions on this one? All right, let's look at our next example. What do we need to do first to solve our inequality?
Subtract 4x.
Subtract the 4x. So what's 5x minus 4x?
X.
Just x. So x minus 3 is greater than 2. How do we get x all by itself?
Add 3.
Perfect. Add 3. So x is greater than 5. So we draw our number line. Are we going to put an open circle or closed circle?
Open.
Open. So we put an open circle on 5. And are we going to go to the right or to the left?
Right.
Right. So we're talking about everything greater than 5. So that would be 6, 7, 8, all the numbers that are bigger than 5. So we would just draw our line going right. Okay, the only exception we have, so we treat it like it's a number line, but the only exception we have to that is if we are multiplying or dividing by a negative number. So when we are multiplying or dividing by a negative number, we need to flip the sign of our inequality. So here we would reverse our greater than. My pencil would work. We would reverse our greater than or equal to less than or equal to.
Greater than and equal to?
So it's greater than or equal to right now, and we are going to change it to less than or equal to. So when we divide by a negative number, we need to flip our sign. So right now it's greater than or equal to, we need to change it to less than or equal to. And then what's negative 24 divided by negative 4?
6.
6. Perfect. So our answer here would be x is less than or equal to 6. So this is just the one rule that we need to follow. When multiplying or dividing by a negative, we flip our sign. if we're putting this one on a number line, would it be an open circle or a closed circle?
Closed.
Closed. Since it's less than or equal to, it would be closed. And do we go left or right?
Left.
Left. Perfect. All right. What do we need to do to solve this inequality?
Divide by -5.
What happens when we divide by a negative number?
It's positive.
Well, negative divided by a negative would be positive. So what's negative 35 divided by negative 5?
7.
7. What sign are we going to put in the middle? Do we keep it greater than or equal to?
No. Less than or equal to.
Right, we need to flip it to less than or equal to. So anytime we divide or multiply by a negative, we flip our sign. So now when we graph this, are we going to put an open or closed circle?
Closed.
Closed. And are we going to go to the left or to the right?
Left.
The left, because we're talking about all numbers less than or equal to 7. So we go left. Okay, we have one more example left. Again, we need to solve the inequality. What should we do first?
Combine -13 and -21
How do we combine them?
by adding 13.
Awesome. We add 13 to both sides. So it'll cancel out on the left. We have negative 4w is greater than, what is negative 21 plus 13?
-8.
Negative 8, awesome. Now what do we do?
Divide.
Divide by negative 4. What happens when we divide? What happens when we divide by a negative?
It turns to less than.
Perfect. We need to switch our sign. We flip it. And then what's negative 8 divided by negative 4?
+2.
Positive 2. So w is less than 2. So if we go to our number line, do we put an open circle or closed circle at 2? Open. And then are we going to go to the left or to the right?
Left.
The left, because we're talking about all numbers less than 2.